Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. So I just spent the better part of the morning hanging out with the Millennial Man, and we were scavenging. We were scavenging from a big pile of material: wood, pallets, pipe, metal, nails, screws, bolts, 18-volt battery, all kinds of interesting things that people just throw away on a big construction site, and we have permission to go there and scavenge off the pile. And so we're doing that, and we're getting a lot of lumber, and you'll probably see one of the projects that comes out of that. I'm going to build a little cabin out of some of these pretty big pallets. But we were talking about the way in which we choose to live and choices in life. And I'm in a different position than he is because, I'm at the end of my earning years by choice, for sure. But it's just me and Sister Kate. My kids are launched. I don't have an 11, a 12, and a 15-year-old that I've got to be working for. And so we were talking about that and life trajectory and things like that. But one of the things we really like is that we're both living beneath our potential means. What do I mean by that? And I guess I'll just leave him out of it because he said he was going to do a video on it. So I'll leave him out of it. I'll just talk about me. I could have a much different job right now. If I had taken a slightly different path, which we considered and I rejected, I'd be living overseas right now in a big house with country club memberships and, a maid and a driver and a gardener. And my kids would, well, I don't have kids now, children. Could be doing that, making big bucks, living that life. I could be working for the government still in cubicle land, and I could probably go back and get a job there, working the 9 to 5. Which gives one more disposable income, and there's a couple other things I could do. Gives one more disposable income with which one can buy toys, go places and see things in your limited time off. But you don't get the freedom of just living out here and shooting a video for y'all and hanging out with the Millennial Man all morning long and chit-chatting, drinking coffee, and working together. I had somebody get a little snooty at me recently and say, you tell people not to move to a small town and blah, blah, blah. I never said that. I think moving to a small town is an excellent idea, if it's the right small town. But I'm not trying to be snooty here either. If you have the 9 to 5 job and you're making good money and you like it, awesome. Go for it. Do the best you can with what you got where you're at, right? But we just did the Viking Training Task 1, which I'm really happy personally with how that went and how y'all did and how you took to it. And a big part of that, and I'm going to do a video on that specifically here in about a week, but a big part of that was just getting outside and doing basic things. Move your body, cross country, make a simple meal, move your body cross country, exist outside for 2+ hours. Because for a lot of people, that is way outside of their, if not comfort zone, normal day-to-day zone. Which is getting me to the main point of this. I really think you, no matter what lifestyle you have chosen, no matter what your day-to-day is like, what your week-to-week is like, you should be extremely comfortable out here. It should be no big thing for you to be out here. And out here is relative. I'm talking about where you are. So clearly, like some of our New England people, you're in a lot of snow. We had a Rocky Mountain guy, a lot of snow. Man from Scotland, right? Scotland! But that's what I'm talking about. In your out and beyond without the mod cons. the modern conveniences? Can you go into the forest, the fields, the prairie, the desert, the grassland, and sustain life comfortably? Because someday I think we're all going to have to make a choice on whether we keep this technology, right here I'm pointing at my phone, and your laptop and your computer and your smart home and your smart car and, things that we don't even imagine yet, your smart appliances, the Internet of Things, your robot. Do we keep that and move forward, or do we throw it all out and revert back to life here? Right now, you don't have to make that choice. And right now, the smart money is on taking advantage of the technology to the extent that you can, never losing sight of yourself. We have some people here, and some who have schooled me a little bit, meaning they taught me a thing or two, that live pretty well straddling both worlds, meaning they have modern technology that they're really kind of on top of, that's really helping them out, and they're still comfortable walking an hour out in whatever conditions nature throws at them, making a simple meal and walking back. That's pretty smart. But I think we all need to be prepared, which doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen, but I think it shouldn't be a huge shock to you if you have to ditch all of your modern technology, whether by choice or by, an EMP, which a lot of people scoff and boo-hoo at, and I don't care. I'm not hard up on EMP. But if EMP happens and if it's bad and all these devices go whoosh, can you live? How do you know? I talked recently about Tom Brown Jr. and I got his book used, Tom Brown Jr.'s Guide to Wilderness Survival, something like that. And I really liked it. I got it at a fairly impressionable age. It was pretty new when I got it. And then I found Tom Brown's Guide to, I think it was called City and Suburban Survival. And it kind of opened up a portal in my mind. Because back then, now it's like, yeah, duh, it's a part of me. Back then it was like the principles of wilderness survival can be applied across a myriad of conditions. If you know how to make a brush shelter and stuff it with leaves and burrow yourself in there like a squirrel and bring the plug of leaves in behind you, thus maintaining your body temperature and staying dry overnight in the woods out here, well, then you can apply the same principles and take 2 mattresses and a bunch of blankets and put them all together on your living room floor when there's no power and it's 36 below outside in Winnipeg and not die. If you know how to start a fire out here when it's raining, you can certainly start a fire on your back patio, right? If you know how to reduce wood out here to manageable pieces to build a little campfire to make your soup, you can certainly take apart furniture and do the same thing. If you know the principles of building a fire, you know the principles of building a fire. If you know the principle of purifying water out of a stream, then you can apply that principle to questionable water in the city, perhaps, right? Things like that. And so it's just skill sets that I think can be very fun to develop now. And I'm talking skill sets that don't rely on technology. It can be fun. It can be a hobby. It can be a great thing to do with the kids. But it could be life-saving later. Or soul-saving. If your only choice is to get rid of all your electronics or keep them all. And if you get rid of all of them, then you're on your own, man. That shouldn't be a scary thought. And when I say on your own, I mean on your own without technology. You don't get to drive. You don't get to use your cell phone. You don't get to, whatever. Buy anything else at the store ever again because you will not take the mark. Stuff like that. a way to have fun being a prepper. Get away from the stuff and get back to the skills. Learn how to be comfortable out here. Doesn't mean you have to live out here, but it is easier to get comfortable out here when you live out here. My wife and I have said this before on YouTube, and I've probably said it here. We are acclimated to the climate much better than our peers around here, the fellow Shofarians who live in real houses. I'm not slamming them at all. I would be doing the same thing they're doing if I lived in a real house, but I don't. And so, you know, you've seen pictures of me and her. One of the recent videos I did, you know that video I did where I was talking about dinner and breakfast? You know, where we're wearing knit hats inside our house and we have like 3 layers of clothes on. We were very comfortable when we shot that video, but we were also very well dressed. I'm diverging a little bit, but you know that YouTube demonetized that video? I don't know why. They don't tell you why. Whatever. But we get acclimated so that when we go outside, it doesn't feel nearly as hot or as cold to us as it does to people who live in climate-controlled environments. Get more comfortable being outside. It'll pay off big dividends for you and yours in life now and potentially later coming up. Get outside and do something. If you haven't done it yet, go walk for an hour, make some soup, walk for an hour. All right, I'll see you out there.